Good evening and welcome everyone to our live coverage of Team WA's League of Legends matches. We've got an official match, not a scrim, not a practice, not a flex queue game, not a bot game, nothing. This is an official match between the Warriors of Æsir and Stun Gaming Academy, aka SGA, a best of 3 series. This does count towards playoff seeding and qualification. Now, you may not have seen it on this stream, but if you tuned into twitch.tv/Ulfold yesterday, you would have seen WA win a dramatic victory 2-1 against Vortex yesterday. It was a lot of fun to watch. I encourage you to check out the VOD if you did not get a chance to see it live. Spoiler, I guess, now, if you haven't seen it. But great series, worth watching regardless. As we get into the draft here for game number 1 with Stun Gaming on blue side and first picking Jinx, which has been a priority for WA as well, and certainly many teams around the globe. You can see, as has happened in quite a few of the previous WA series, a lot of ban focus towards Foldmather there in the jungle with the Jarvan and the Master Yi banned away. Ulfold had a fantastic Malzahar performance just yesterday and has been playing it a ton in solo queue. We see that banned away as well, so a lot of focus on mid and jungle there from SGA. Meanwhile, WA opting for the Gwen and Mordekaiser bans. I believe that is a Gwen jungle ban focus that I've seen. No, okay, yeah, Gwen top. So top lane focus bans here, and then the Wukong is jungle. Something SGA has been bringing out a lot lately. And WA locks in the Lucian Nami to start things off with, and we're going to finish off the bot lane with a Thresh for SGA. So should be fun to watch. Obviously, Icewing and Soup down there in bot lane will be trying to get an advantage with that Lucian Nami combo. It's one of those things that, regardless of the meta, generally is always strong. Sometimes it's borderline broken depending on the meta, but... And then Sejuani going to be that next pick, and I know we have seen Sejuani top in previous games for some of our opponents, but I don't know, and I'm going to see if I have any intel here, but my assumption would be... Yeah, so Xylism, the jungler, has played the Sejuani jungle just recently, so bring that out again. And then Zach lock in here, which should be interesting. Of course, we have to assume that that is Zach top for Mello. Played that just yesterday in game 1. I know Foldmather can play the champion. I don't know that he's super comfortable on it, that he's practiced it a lot lately, and I know there's been a couple of bans here, but I would not be surprised if he opts for something like the Amumu or the Skarner, depending on what he likes in the Sejuani. I don't know those matchups terribly well. I'm not sure what his preference could be, but my guess would be that this is that Zach top, but perhaps they're hoping that SGA are expecting this potentially to be a flex pick and playing that way. We see Victor and Zare, some more bans towards Ulfold. I know he's himself told us that he doesn't feel his Victor is good, but I know he's seen success in the champ. And he's going to opt for the Orianna, which he has a lot of experience with as well. Definitely something he's comfortable on. And the counter from SGA looking to be the Veigar. WA, by the way, banned away the Garen too, so a lot of top lane bans. And the Zac for Mello, we assume, and saving the final pick here for Foldmather, which is kind of interesting. Like I said, we could flex Zac jungle, and we'll see if that does happen to be the case, but I would be pretty surprised. So Veigar is locked in there, so that's the matchup there into Ulfold's Orianna in the mid lane. And now just looking for a top laner here from SGA, and 3 bans thrown at the top laner, and they're going to opt for the Gragas here. Perhaps, not sure if it's blind. I mean, based on the Malzahar ban, I actually think they probably did a fair bit of scouting here. And they would have seen Mello playing the Zac top, so I would guess that SGA is ready for that and likes the Gragas into that matchup. But we'll see with this final pick here on red side. The opportunity for Foldmather to take the Zac if he wants to. or to opt for something else he likes in the Sejuani. And the Poppy is locked in. That's very interesting. So that should be Poppy in the jungle for Coldmather. He has played it a fair bit. I haven't seen it a ton from him recently, but I know he has played quite a lot of it in his career, and must be something he likes in the Sejuani. We could potentially still see that swap where Poppy goes top for Mello, but again, I would be really surprised if that was how things went down. I would really expect that to be Poppy in the jungle, which is interesting that they saved that for that late in the draft, considering that, you know, that was available already. The Zach top already picked, but again, you know, maybe potentially thinking that there is a, you know, a chance that SGA is considering that a potential flex, which they might. Again, like I said, full display a little bit of that. Okay, so some interesting champion picks here. Some familiar, the Zach, of course, from before. Some comfort for all of our players here in DMWA, but this should be an exciting matchup. We're going to head to a brief break here for our spectator delay. We'll get something to eat. We'll return in a few minutes as we hop into the Rift for game number 1. Welcome back, everyone. Finally, it's time for some League of Legends action. Tonight we've got, hopefully, 3 good games. Well, actually, we're kind of cheering for WA, the home team here. Let's hope for a quick 2-0, maybe. We will find out. Line of scrimmage being drawn already. Nothing too crazy. No early wards. And Mello piloting the Zac top, as we expected. Talked about a potential flex pick, or, you know, maybe at least Stun Gaming. Believing that might be the case. Oh, let's see if we can't, give me a moment here. Sometimes my, names are not perfectly lined up here, and I haven't quite figured out why. There we go. Korriban has turned Mello into a Zac top enjoyer. He did seem to enjoy it in game 1. Yesterday. With another game 1 tonight. Hopefully he enjoys it even more into the Gragas here. Looking for a level 1 Soup and Ice Wing. So ward there and bot. Rush. They'll have time. Now it's going to be spotted. Early push going here. Close on the hook from Jester. And actually, it's first on the minions is a laver, soon. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that. Jester at time. Great to see they're not the worst team comps anymore. We'll see how this one plays out. Got the comp. They gotta execute. So both junglers starting top side, clearing towards bot. So we'll have our eyes here as the push starting to go in Icewing and Soup's favor, as you'd expect. Mello taking a little bit of a beating here in top lane, but of course both Zac and Gragas able to sustain fairly comfortably for the time being. Ward down there from Mello. Key, as they have seen jungle attention there previously. Trading grasp stacks for now. So we do have that ward down there in Tribrush from Icewing and Soup, so they will spot out if Xylism tries to gank through Tri, which I assume he will. Unless he feels like just recalling and not even looking. I mean, maybe his bot lane gives him a heads up that could be warded. And actually, yeah, we can see that they have pinged that ward out, so. And, yep. Okay, so Icewing, relentless pursuit, his way out of trouble. As Xylism now looking towards mid, so must have communicated that Tribrush is warded and not worth a try. Both junglers gonna find each other bot river here. Wow, clash in mid lane. Now Fold is here. Supek and Icewing first on the draw, and Ulfold's actually closer as well. Xylism, yep. Nice thing about this is Sejuani, just quick get over that wall. Icewing very aggressive here. Takes quite a lot of punishment there. Doesn't get too much of a trade onto Ilaver. I know he wanted to proc that PTA. Not just for the dopamine, but for the damage. Teleport burned here by Silent Elements. And a trade of Scuttle Crabs here. So I wasn't sure, but Full Method did get that Scuttle Crab bot. And Mello does opt to burn the teleport here. It's kind of interesting given, I mean, you can see Zero Thorn not really pushing too much. Maybe could save that. Tempo TP, as they always say. Drake popping in a couple of seconds here. Last time there was action, bot river, it was WA that was able to respond quickly. They had the priority. We'll see if the same is true for that Ocean Drake. I know in talking with Foldmather, he's always been a big Drake fan, but I think more recently was kind of a Grub enthusiast, and now I wonder he might be going back towards the Drakes. He kind of mentioned feeling like the Grubs and the recent patches are maybe not as worth it as they used to be. Extensive ward coverage down there, bot, so Soup and Icewing will spot out any ganks coming in, which neither jungler has been able to make anything happen. We're just in a farm fest right now. Early no magic mantle there from Mello, who has hit level 6. Down a couple of minions there, but rest of the map pretty even. Grubs are here. Looks like Mello's going to get that warded. Meanwhile, Xylism wants to target that. Teleport mid from Wolf, and Foldmather's heading towards the Ocean Drake, and he's going to start that up right now. A lot of wards there, so Team SGA, we're going to be aware of that, and he's going to pull off. Okay, hook here onto Icewing. Pulled back onto the choppers, trying to take down Jester of Time. It's a nice bubble here from Soup. Ignite burned. And that will be it. Barrier was used by Icewing as well, so terrible here, but you know, with the Lucian Nami, you definitely would like to be exerting some pressure, and for the time being, Jester and Ilever have been even on farm and not feeling that pressure too much. And Foldmather and Mello, meanwhile, are able to force Xylism off the Grubs and pick those up, and the Drake was not traded, so really good news for them. Don't have to trade those objectives and maybe can look for Ocean Drake. Quiet game here, 0-0, 7 minutes in. A little bit of a lead building up here for Zero Thorn in top lane. And level 6 here there by jungle and mid. And we'll do a little check-in here. Oops. So, okay, a minion away here for Icewing, and I wonder if he doesn't, with that culling, just try to jump in here. Maybe he wants to wait for Soup to have the tidal wave, which he will need an additional wave to get, I believe. Yeah, it needs a little bit more. You'd love with that pickaxe to be able to dish out some damage, see if you can at least get some flashes, barrier, something here, especially because Icewing had to burn his earlier. But on the other hand, he's going to have that back up pretty soon. Spectre's Cowl completed for Mello. He's going to be feeling really good into this team that is so heavy on the magic damage. Going to be all on the Jinx. Burn through that green health bar. Really, really extensive ward coverage. Again, I just have to harp on that here from Team WA. You can see, okay, some of those fading around top side from that grub take a couple minutes ago. Now we have some action here around bot river. We're busy watching Gragas recall. But you can see, once again, another Scuttle Crab in bot side going over to Foldmather, and that's going to help out with starting that Drake. And I believe Foldmather is going to maybe look to do that. I'm not sure if they're aware of that ward in the pit, but he does back off for now. Would be a great time to do it unknowingly, although Icewing very low on mana and probably would love to buy. The take might have taken long enough that SGA's bot lane returns with an item advantage, and you could have a messy fight in your hands. I know that's certainly happened a couple times I've subbed in for the team, or just casted and watched some scrims here. Some questionable Drake takes, or, you know, one of those situations where maybe it would be okay as long as you pull off of the Drake. But here we go. Could have a gank top. Mello is quite pushed up here, but Xylism does not even look. Yeah, interesting. No wards there, and I think Mello now noticing that and getting a ward down, and even looking to roam potentially. No, he'll be back top. Ton of wards around that Drake pit bot side. We were just pointing out that Soupbank actually 6th in the league in terms of vision score per minute. Certainly seeing that now. A little bit of a lead starting to develop here in bot lane. Same thing in top, but the inverse there for Zero Thorn. And the day, gold is just about dead even in 10 minutes and 40 seconds in. We've got no first blood. Looking like an LCK game here. Hopefully we get some action, I think. Gotta keep people awake. Ocean Drake still not taken, which is quite interesting. Just kind of sitting there, and Mello taking a ton of damage here. I mean, you wonder if Zero Thorn doesn't just use the ultimate and at least try to pop the passive. Flash burn by Mello, and still gonna have that passive pop there. And Zero recognizing he cannot finish him off, especially with Foldmather waiting in the wings. And now could be trouble for Xylism. Ulfold is here. Silent Elements will be here in about 5 seconds, and this could be trouble. Foldmather's got to get out of here. A ton of damage there from the Gragas. He's got to kite back towards top. Mello comes in. Oh! But the Super Mega Death Rocket from downtown takes down Team WA's jungler, and Silent Elements is there to finish off Mello. Ill-advised fight there with Mello already forced out into passive. And 2 kills go over to SGA, as well as, hang on, we got a bubble here onto iLover, and then a hook there onto Icewing in bot lane. Tunnel Wave coming in, Ice trying to hold, stand tall, and he will. The Ignite finishes him off. Bubble, and now we watch some supportable combat. I don't think too much will happen, but at least... Oh, it was actually Soup that got the kill there on the Jinx, so kind of unfortunate that iLover... Well, both supports got the kills, actually. iLover's kill was on to Foldmather's Poppy there, top side. So at the end of the day, kill on each support. Summoners burned all around. But going back towards that top side fight, does get a couple of grubs over. And actually, so one of those grubs, we didn't see that earlier, but from those first 3 grubs, one of them did go over to Team SGA. So WA just has the 2, so they get to prevent that 6 grub buff at least. And still the Ocean Drake not taken. We see Soup pinging his R. Maybe looking for something mid. He roamed there. Could head down bot and see if they can make a play happen. Maybe with Foldmather, start this Drake. No sums on the Jinx. Definitely a potential target. Mello taking a lot of damage. He does not have a passive. Zero Thorn has his ultimate. We gotta be careful. This could just be a solo kill. The cask. Mello's gonna let's bounce his way. Try to pick up some health. Silent Elements has roamed up here. Mello is flashless. Stopped there. And there comes the killing blow from Silent Elements. He gets his 2nd kill of the game here on the Veigar. Death sentence will go wide. Here we go, Chompers down, dive onto the Jinx, iLover goes down, and this time, the gold onto Icewing. Ulfball is even here as well. Maybe it looks for a Shockwave to try to get Jester back in. Yeah, not enough. A little tanky there on the Thresh. Ulf would really shred him, he's full armor, but just too big of a health bar. And Element's able to get a couple of plates there to boot. So Mello having a rough time here top. First, the fight around the not the Rift here, excuse me, the 2nd set of grubs. Death Rocket going wide there, trying to steal that Drake, and it won't. And finally, we have the first Ocean Drake, the first Drake of any kind, in fact, of the game, taken at 14 minutes and 10 seconds. It is going to go to Team WA. They're down about 1,000 gold and a couple of kills here, but at least they do get one into Icewing. He's got that Essence Reaver. Once again, it may be on the bot lane to try to carry this one. Ulfold as well in the Orianna. Deathless staying even in CS despite some roams. Both he and Veigar have kind of been similar roam timings that we've seen. So certainly still getting some gold, and we'll see if he can make something happen. Could be trouble for Jester of Time. Flash, Soupbank gets the bubble. Ice Wing goes in, finds himself a Sejuani. There's the Glacial Assault, and he will go down. Alaver, here comes the Shockwave, though. A lot of damage. Barrier burned by Alaver. He will go down. Soupbank with the kill. Ulfald going to be stunned. Xylism, and there's another one for Silent Elements. And once again, a fight going in SGA's favor there. They do take down the Jinx. Again, the gold goes onto the Nami. Not great news for Team WA. Soupbank just trying to hold this wave, and Foldmather is hovering. So Icewing and Soup chase Jester. Probably could have gotten him if he was by himself, but he certainly was not. Xylism shows up just in time, and again, the Super Mega Death Rocket. Alaver, good instinct to fire that one, just slightly off center. And we see some CS leads across the board, nothing crazy, but Xylism has been farming up a storm here. Up 24 over Foldmather, and Silent Elements, who already got a few plates, also gets that first turret. That is going to give those feats the triumph. Goes to Team SGA. The special boots coming in. Mello with the Spirit Visage completed again. Will be feeling pretty good into all this magic damage. A couple of kills onto Alaver, who will have to another item or two to really come online, but already feeling pretty good. Icewing looking for a culling. Death Sentence pulled. Tidal Wave. Icewing still looking, but taking so much damage. Forced to heal. Back out of the Chompers he goes. He'll be okay for now. Heal burned by Soupbank. Nothing by SGA's bot lane. So Mega Death Rocket coming in. Nicely done by Team WA's bot lane to dodge that one. And the barrier ping there was not actually used in that fight, but I've done that many a time because he must have barriered, right? In fact, he did not. But again, you know, you pick this Lucian Nami bot lane, you hope to get kind of a sizable advantage, and you know, they're up about a wave and a half, maybe two. Icewing, a lot of damage on a Jester here. Won't have the culling or the tidal wave up, so Foldmather waiting. I think it was spotted out on that ward. It just died. I think they did get a brief glimpse of him. Xylism is waiting anyway. Not to mention Alaver will have that barrier up in a couple seconds, so full sums on the Jinx. Mello really taking a beating in these trades. I mean, we talk about, you know, the Visage helping him heal up, but not enough. I mean, even with the Merc trades, it's a lot of MR, but you know, it becomes a question where you kind of just need more health at that point. You need that health to be able to kind of let the MR do its work. Not to mention with the tier, I mean, the ability for Gragas to just spam, spam, spam. Yeah, you got some MR, but eventually he's going to chunk you down. We see Foldmather pinging out that Drake. Already picked up one. If they can get to number 2, would be nice. The gold lead has grown. 3,000 now for Team SGA. Mello continuing to play pretty aggressively here. I mean, you can see he's healing quite a lot. Actually burns the ultimate. Let's bounce. No mana here for Zero Thorn. That's what Mello saw and took the initiative. Nice swing. Caught in the chompers there. I think maybe could have got in, but suspecting correctly, I think that Xylism is hovering, and Foldmather gonna find that ward. Got to be careful as well. Silent Elements 3-0 has the Magi Soul Stealer starting to stack up now, as well as the Rod of Ages. This Jinx Veigar combination is going to get very terrifying as these minutes tick by. You wonder now if time is not beginning to run out for Icewing and Soupbank. You know, They like to really make their presence known in some of these earlier skirmishes. It just hasn't quite happened. Oh no, and a directed camera said, let's watch this pointless fight top, but Super Mega Death Rocket comes in. This could be a kill on the Elements, and it is. Foldmaster at least able to get a big shutdown onto the Vagar. But the Drake was stolen. The Infernal Drake taken by Xylism. I think WA happy with that trade. It's not like we're talking about a soul point or a soul loss. It does kind of put them off track for that. But you see, that was 1,000 gold. But they just bit back out of that lead. And on to Foldmather. And then a Drake. Boy, Directed Camera just loves these top lane scuffles for some reason. Not sure what it's trying to tell us here, but we missed first turret being taken bot, and now Ulfald flashes away mid. It's a support and juggle. Top lane, it's a dive. Down goes Zero Thorn. Again, another shutdown onto Foldmather. Ulfald trying to kite it. Fancy feet. Death Sentence coming off cooldown soon. But he is able to get out with the command dissonance. A little extra speed, and now Soup looking for the Jinx. So last couple of minutes, good news for WA, and now Mellow is here. This turret will go down. Xylism in the area, but so is Foldmather. Oh, but not quite able to get this turret. I wonder if Foldmather shouldn't have helped and hit that. Now you got the bot lane coming up, and they gotta get out of here. I don't think they can stay. Looks like Foldmather rightly knows that. Now they're gonna spot out the Jinx, and no, Foldmather just goes right in, though. Teleport. Chompers slow on to Fold. Here comes the Gragas. Fold has got to get out of here. He's got the flash. He should be okay. Ulfald coming in. I'm going to settle for the flash there. I think probably with the command dissonance and the heroic charge there onto the Raptors, probably could have gotten out regardless, but decides to burn the flash just to be safe. Now Atacon potentially a target here for SGA. They're going to summon the Rift Herald. It's close, but it's heading top. Whole of Team WA are here, though. Silent Elements can teleport in, and he just might. The Jinx is not here, so there's a window right now. Here comes the Sejuani going top. Zero Thorn in the middle of everybody. Still Jinx is not here. Daving mid. Super Mega Death Rocket coming in towards top lane. Does a little damage, but not too much. Calling onto Xylism. Mellow diving. Jinx still not here. Xylism taking more damage under the turret. Mellow is fine with that. He can tank it. Down goes the turret. Icewing trying to take down Jester, does not quite have the damage just yet. Still pushing mid is a Laver. Jester should go down here. Descendants under turret. Barrier burn by Icewing, and now Atacon going to be the target. The mid lane inner does fall to the Jinx, but the gold now equalized. And WA ready to respond to that top lane play. SGA instead opting for a couple of turrets, and with the help of that bot lane turret, not too bad of a trade for them. With Atacon going to the Warriors of Æsir, I think our hometown WA fans will be pretty happy with that development. So resets coming through, but after a very cozy, quiet 10 minutes of farming it up, suddenly this game has gotten a little more interesting. Now Xylism trying to take over a Gromp. Foldmather, can he come in time? Looking for the smite. I don't think he got it. Yeah, that was Xylism that took that. And here comes a Shockwave. Xylism's going down. His team's not here in time. He'll grab a couple of Heartsteel procs to go. But gone is the Sejuani, and this time it's Ulfald with his first kill of the game. Ulfald 4th in the league in damage per gold in the Style Esports League. And I talked about the timer maybe ticking. Icewing and Soup need to make their presence known, and they certainly have these last 4 and 5 minutes. Suddenly a bounty on the both of them. 4 and 2 for Icewing. He's been farming up very well. Looking for that Infinity Edge, 3 items. Infinity Edge already here for a Laver, who's now looking for a 3rd. I would imagine he's going to look for some Armor Pen. Meanwhile, Mello does pick up that Hollow Radiance, so really full in on the magic resist, which, hey, look at these team comps, you can't blame him, but the Jinx is going to eat through that Zac. The challenge will be for Æsir to have time to free fire on a Zac who's just bouncing around all over the place. So Chemtech Drake secured by Team WA. They lose nothing for it. That puts them at 2-1 in the Drake department. Still down a couple hundred gold, but in a nice position right now. The question remains, Silent Elements and Æsir, the Jinx and the Veigar, the scaling, that is going to be the wild card and the question. Still 4-2 in turrets. Certainly SGA with the advantage in that department. And Baron now has to target Æsir, taking a ton of damage from the culling, and down goes the turret. Mello still looking, but he's got to get out of here. Zero thrown on the way, and yes, he will. So nothing burned there by Æsir, just fishing with the culling is Ice Wing. Ice fishing, can we say that? Able to find himself a nice chunk on the Jinx's health bar. That'll be it for now. So, Foldmather opting for a bit more on the armor side. Of course, loves the Deadman synergy with that Poppy playstyle. Now looking for the Spectre's Cowl. Curious if that will be... I'd be very surprised if that was a Visage. I'd expect maybe a Canic Rookern. We'll see what he does opt to build that into. And looking more like the first 10 minutes here. You wonder if SGA, who really had the upper hand during the early stages of this game, not massively, but sort of had their foot in the door, are a little shaken by the last few minutes and suggesting, hey, we scale. Let's not get too crazy. Let's not have that Rift Herald play. We're gonna be fine. We need a little more time here. Play a little safer. Giving up some vision control around Baron here, and that could be where WA looks next. Just trying to at least threaten that Baron take. Teleports available, all 4 of them. And now it is going to be started here, so it's spotted out. Super Mega Death Rocket is burned here, so that is a tool down. And I think they're okay with that. I mean, they've pulled basically everyone here but Silent Elements. So Key and Opfold able to teleport in if they want, and Æsir actually forced to take a bit of a wacky path there, just to not get pinned into the wall with the heroic charge. The Scuttle Crab will go over to Team WA. And they are going to start that Baron again. And they're really burning through it. Okay, Xylism, here comes the teleport. Tidal Wave is burned, it's going to find 2. Rather low, Mello coming in. Event Horizon, going to stun 1. It's just soup, but it takes so much damage! The Primordial Burst will finish him off. And now it's a 4 versus 5, and WA kind of on the wrong side of the map here. Ice Wing by himself. Gotta be careful of the engage here. There's no cast, but Xylism still has an ultimate, and he is going to use it. Icewind gets out. Here comes the Death Sentence. Mello now caught in the CC chain. The choppers go down. Let's bounce, but Zac into the passive. Meanwhile, Death Sentence on a Foldmather. Here comes Jester of Time, and the flank here. Xylism is there. Opfold and Icewing away from their Poppy, finding it pretty difficult. Foldmather is going to flash over the wall, though. Finding it difficult to join the fight, I was going to say. So disjointed there. And Soup dying immediately, so WA opts to kind of turn off the Baron. It isn't a clean turn. They can't find anyone with the key cooldowns. And now they've just burned them all, and Foldmather is flashless. Okay, Ultfall flashes away out of the event horizon. Big shockwave on a 3. Foldmather goes in. Icewing is here. Culling not just yet. Trying to, with the help of Baron, get those health bars down. They do get Silent Elements. Now Icewing, nicely done flash away from the body slam. Still, the Baron low, 3,000. Here comes Soupy's respawn. Tidal Wave is going to come in. Xylism is going to go down. No, flashes away from the bubble. Icewing now looking for the Jinx, but no. The passive is popped. And the Baron taken by Team SGA. It was a toss-up. It looked scary. End of the day, WA not able to make that one happen. so many blinking health bars, but the Jinxes, crucially, was not among them, and Alover's able to pick up some kills there, turn the tides, and Xylism able to true smite that Baron and take it for SGA, who now command a 4,000 gold lead and can threaten to push things further. The Chem Tech Drake, always want to call it the Chem Punk Drake here. But now, with recent events, it's Team SGA first to the draw. 3.5 items. I mentioned Armor Pen. Yes, mortal reminder there for that Zac healing and the Nami too. This is a very powerful Jinx. Meanwhile, Silent Elements probably will be looking for the Rabadons. Maybe you could look for a Shadow Flame or something, but Soup could be caught out here and be stunned there looking for a bubble. Meanwhile, Icewing Cask knocks him back, able to get away from the Chompers, trying to peel for the Lucian, but no, the Rocket finds him, and now the passives are popped. The Event Horizon, Shockwave only onto one, Ulfald stunned into turret, making another one for Alover, and it's disaster for the Warriors of Æsir. A triple kill for the Jinx of Team SGA, shut down onto Ulfald, flash away from Mello, the top laner of the Warriors of Æsir, the last one standing. They're down 7,000 gold, and with Baron, this push could be enough. 20 seconds on Soupbank, the next spawn. There's no reinforcements here for the Zac. I talked about Alover doing a ton of damage here. 3.5 items. Silent Elements stacking that Magi's once again. Mello, let's bounce, trying to mount a valiant defense, but no passive to speak of. Turrets are down. Nexus will go. GG's fly, and Team SGA take the 1-0 over Team WA. And we'll check out the damage charts. A lot of damage by the whole of Team WA. We see Ulfald and Icewing certainly dishing it out there. But ultimately, it was Zero Thorn and particularly Alover really making it happen. 7-3 on the Jinx. Silent Elements on the Veigar was a huge presence there. Especially early on, some of those early kills. And those executes coming through from the Primordial Burst. 6-2. Only 15-11, only 26 kills in this 31.5-minute game. It was surprisingly slow, but ultimately it was Team WA falling sadly and Team SGA with the victory. We'll hope for a changing of the tides here in game number 2. We head to a brief break. When we return, we will see that draft for game 2. And welcome back, everyone, to more live coverage of Team WA versus Team SGA. That's the Warriors of Æsir versus Stun Gaming Academy. This is an official best-of-3 match for the Style Esports League of Legends League. The question is, can Team WA emerge victorious after a difficult game one in which there was certainly signs of life, glimmers of hope in the mid-game, but quickly extinguished? The old Dignitas Baron throw returned once again, this time for Team WA. You see the bans coming in. No changes here for SGA, but instead, with the Jinx banned away, they stayed. WA did rather stay with the Gwen and Mordekaiser bans, but did not like a Lover's Jinx in that game. It certainly did have a massive impact, especially after a couple items, and survived lane very, very well. Withstood the Lucian Nami onslaught, and therefore the Aphelios is the first pick for a Lover for SGA with the Jinx taken away. So an interesting pick, not a champion we've seen a lot of recently in the current meta, but clearly one that they prioritize heavily for SGA. First pick on blue side for SGA. The response going to be the Xayah, which we have seen Icewing pilot to success recently, and the Amumu I mentioned is a potential pick for Foldmather with Yi and Jarvan banned away. I talked about the Amumu, maybe the Skarner. He went with a Poppy last time. And as with the whole team, I think we saw some good stuff, but ultimately they are down 1-0 in the series, so opting to change things up, and the Amumu is the choice there for Fold. The response gonna be the Thresh still, the old Aphelios Thresh. This is a combo we've seen a lot of. Again, haven't seen Aphelios too much recently, but definitely an option. And with the Wukong left open, they traded that ban for the Jinx. Here it comes immediately for Xylist in the jungle. SGA has played a lot of Wukong, and they're going to be very comfortable with that pick now opened up. And pairing with the Xayah, Rakan open, but maybe looking for a Braum for Soup, and it is. We saw Soup play some Braum in yesterday's series, and now he brings it out once again. So Xayah Braum into Aphelios Thresh there in the bot lane. Both junglers locked in. Top and mid remain the wild cards, and they should be the focus here for the bans. Another ban based on game one. No Veigar here for Elements. And meanwhile, SGA sticking with the familiar bans. They ban the Victor. We'll see if they change things up at all. Just, I mean, same 5 bans as game one, perhaps. If it ain't broke, they'll fix it. And it's exactly what they'll do. Victor Xerath the bans against Ulfbald here, and the Veigar banned away, and the Garen banned once again. So 3 bans towards top, thrown by the Warriors of Æsir. Now the question is, what will Ulfbald go to? Does he still like the Orianna? Had a great shockwave around the Baron. I had me convinced that was going to be a one fight. And I wonder if he does opt to switch gears here. Okay, so interesting. So this time around, they say, we're going to get Mello on, you know, probably his most comfortable pick in the Aatrox in top lane. Take that blind. They've got 3 top lane bans already. Let's see what he has to play into. And we'll save Ulfbald that counter pick on red side, that final pick. They need a victory now to stay in this series. Aatrox, and it's going to be into the Malphite, and then the Ahri that was banned in the second phase in game one. Now open, again SGA pivot, say we'll take that in that case. With the Veigar ban, the Ahri is the pickup. And Ulfbald now has his choice of champion into the Ahri after sustaining 3 mid lane bans from SGA through the first 2 ban phases. We'll see what he likes into the Ahri. Does he take the Karma mid? This would be interesting. Okay, so Karma mid locked in. So full-on eggs in the Ice Wing basket here. I mean, sure, Aatrox is going to do some damage. We know Ulfbald, you know, has that great, you know, among the leaders in the league in damage per gold. So he's still going to do that. He's still going to get the work done on the Karma. But now you really are looking at Icewing on the Xayah to make everything happen here. Had the pick of the Xayah, counter pick into the Aphelios. Now gets the Braum around him, gets the Karma. He's going to have a Mumu running interference, a ton of crowd control there from the support and jungle role. So they're going to have that opportunity to really set him up. And a big thing will be, look at that Wukong, look at the Malphite. You got the Unstoppable Force, you got the Cyclone. A lot of tools there to dive onto the backline. They're going to be trying to take down that Xayah. Meanwhile, she's got the Featherstorm, so how quick is Icewing going to be on the Flash and the Featherstorm in response to those abilities? It can be real hard if the Malphite does the Flash R combo. Very difficult as well. The Wukong, invisible, comes out of nowhere. There's the Cyclone. That can be very difficult to deal with, and that may be very well something that Icewing has to play around. He's going to have the reflexes. Let's see. Zoomer or Boomer here in Game 2. We're going to need the Zoomer. We need a Game 3 here, WA fans. Down 1-0. The Warriors of Æsir against Team SGA have got to win to bring us to that Game 3. We'll take a break for a few minutes here, and when we return, we'll hop on the Rift and see what happens. Welcome back, everyone. We're here for game 2, and this time maybe some early action. Okay, just a ward by Raptors, but by the standards of game 1, those first 10 minutes, that was action-packed. So I hope you're satisfied with that ward, which has taken 1 auto worth of damage. We're ready, though, for game number 2. Everything on the line here for the Warriors of Æsir. Already down 1 game in this best of 3. They need 2 in a row. The reverse sweep, mini reverse sweep, really, in a best of 3. And once again, a ward down here in the mid lane, the middle brush of bot lane, rather, is going to spot out Icewing and Supank, just as I believe it did in game 1, and surprised that Alaver lets them know about that. I guess just a bit cheeky. I mean, you could, you know, allow WA's bot lane to think they're undetected, but Alaver happy to flaunt the fact that they are sitting on a ward. Meanwhile, WA to get some deep wards, one around the Raptors of SGA, another one by that passage to top river from the blue buff. Curious to see how Icewing and Soup play this. I wonder if this Xayah Braum pickup is not something of a... Accepting that maybe the advantages against this bot lane in lane are not going to be as easy to come by, and they'd rather have something where the pressure is not necessarily on them to get a crazy amount of work done in lane. I mean, I certainly think you're looking at skirmishes and team fights with this team comp. You're certainly going to have the ability. At the same time, we're going to talk about pressure on Icewing here. There's going to be a lot of... Oh, and there's a distance onto Icewing. No choppers this time. He'll throw 1 feather back. Take a Calibrum auto to the face and then back off. Both junglers, as in game 1, starting topside, clearing towards bot here. Jester of Time has been on point here with the death sentences. It's going to be either on him to miss or on Icewing to dodge some of those. Doesn't have the luxury of a relentless pursuit to get himself out of harm's way. Again, double wards there in Tribrush. They are going to spot out Xylism if he looks to gank bot.
Just for you.
And I think some pressure on Ulfald here in mid lane as well. I mean, this was the final pick. The red side counter pick here was the Karma mid. That's what Ulf wanted. Or perhaps the team wanted Ulf to take. We'll see. And that's what he went with. So hopefully this is a matchup that he likes and he can make work. Okay, wow. So Silent Element's actually throwing a charm here, threatening the blue. Oh, over the wall, bandage toss. Here comes Xylism. This could be trouble, though. Supank flashing in, just trying to make sure, hey, he can have the kills. That's okay. Now it could be trouble for Xylism as well. His shield coming through. There it is. The shield. 1 more feather would do it. No, Xylism lives. Here comes the root. But I don't know that WA necessarily wants this. They do get the flash out of Jester of Time. They're still looking. Ulfald low on mana. Maybe now they can find a lover. They at least get another flash. You have to think they wanted more than just a kill on the Braum. But it's still a nice early win here for a Warriors of Æsir team that kind of struggled early on in game 1. Now they start off on the right foot. We'll see if they can parlay that into further advantages. And some ward clearing once again. Very immaculate vision control here around bot side by Team WA. The question will be, who gets this first Drake? Last time we had to wait 14 minutes until we saw a Drake go down. Dissonance onto Soup, but that's the Braum. He's a tanky fella. He does take a fair bit of punishment. And interesting, the level situation here. So Icewing has not recalled yet. So he's up. 16 CS now, and it looks like he's going to recall now. I was going to say, that's quite funny that he is level 5, while everyone else in bot lane is level 3. Now a Lobber hits level 4. So Cleanse still available. Here for the Aphelios, did not use it last time. So he will have that. If potentially, you know, Fold Mather looks for ultimate here once he hits level 6, which top laners both have done. And we'll check in around mid lane, or rather Grubs, which looks to be the next target. Ulfald very close to the level 6. Not that that's a crucial point for Karma, but likely means... yeah, I'm curious about Silent Elements, actually, how close he is. Yeah, not terribly far. I think this wave should be able to get him that level 6 point. Goldmather, with the help of Mello, able to pick up those Void Grubs. So WA, really a nice little start here. We got a long ways to go, but I like how things are looking at the 6-minute mark, with an eye for taking us to a game 3. Pings around Mountain Drake, potentially. Silent Elements has hit level 6. Mello and Zero both already used their teleport, so they won't have the opportunity to join a fight unless they walk all the way down there. You can see that early Bramble. Wow. Damage from Ulfald, massive right now. You talk about a Karma mid and you think, oh, supportive, bot carry. But I mentioned, you know, Ulfald's going to get some work done here, and he is. But yes, the Bramble top. Always a quick first buy into the Aatrox, and Malphite loving that item. A challenge for Mello to get anything done in top. Not a lot of vision around the Drake now, but a nice little ward around Raptor Pit. You'd like to get that Tri-Brush control around bot, just because that really makes it hard for Team SGA to actually get in there into the pit. I mean, it kind of leaves them just sort of hoping for a steal over the pit wall, which is certainly an option. Death Sentence. Gravitum Root. Sufank will leap his way back out, and Icewing does have the ultimate. Ooh. You have to think if that Q connected from Stoop, it's something they'd be looking at. Maybe a Featherstorm. Root still flashless as a Lobber, but he would have the cleanse at least. You can't cleanse both the Bromstun and the Feather Root, though. Well, unless they're layered directly on top of each other. But if they're spaced out properly, you know, you kind of got to cleanse one. And I think that's kind of something WA is betting on. The cleanse not getting as much value here with the Amumu, the Zaya, and the Braum. Blade Caller, gonna root a Lobber, but Soup still taking a lot of damage here. You know, they wanted to take advantage of Icewing. You know, he had that, I don't want to call it an overstay, but that extended stay bot lane that got him the XP advantage. And they wanted to get that, they got level 6 first. Oh, Unstoppable Force out. Zero Thorn forced a flash as well. So Mello did burn the World Ender. Oh, Soup could be in trouble. Here's a Cyclone there. Here comes Icewing. Heal is available if Soup needs it. He's got to burn it. Flash trying to get out. Featherstorm on the Xylism. A little bit of damage. The Lantern. I think Soup maybe wanted to bait in Xylism. I waited just a little too long there. We saw the damage from the Xayah. Significant, but not enough to kill Xylism. Certainly not with the help of Jester. And that is going to mean an early Drake to SGA, and all of a sudden things are looking pretty equal here when all is said and done. Cold Mather waiting in the wings, but won't risk a steal. And with all these wards, potentially could lose even a blue buff. Let's see. The SGA are going to leave that to him. Mello here now. The tables have turned. Up about 10 CS here on the Malphite. Not a big surprise, but certainly getting more comfortable than had a little bit of a deficit last game when he was put onto the Zac. But oh, seeing a deficit, here comes Silent Elements. He has roamed top in game 1. Spotted out, though, by a good smart control ward. And Mello will get out. See if he recalls. Yeah, I think he was considering sticking around. I doubt he has the full item at this point. Maybe he can pick up like a Caulfields or something. Oh, or a Tunneler. There you go. And again, WA first to the Grubs. They already have 3. First game, they only got 2 of the 6. And now, already starting things off. They should be a guaranteed 4, and the question will be how quick is Xylism going to be here. So 1 already going down, and look how quickly Amumu takes those as well. Xylism is here. Ulfold had roamed up, but I think they had expected that SGA was not even going to threaten, and now kind of a late contest here from SGA. But they are all going over, and now Xylism goes in, takes a lantern back out, just looking, fishing for maybe 1 grub at least to stop the 6, but not able to make it happen. So WA does get all 6 grubs, feeling pretty good there. Ulfold, gotta be careful. The charm of the death sentence, he will dodge them. Laver not going to be caught in the blade collar that time. So WA, once again, a little bit of a punch back here. And again, just wards all over the place. They're seeing everything here. I mean, the same was rather true of Game 1. Xylism did not get a lot of great ganks off. It was really just the skirmishes and the macro decisions around those objectives that Team SGA really outplayed on. It was not necessarily that Xylism was sneaking in because he was being spotted left and right, or at least, you know, his laners were rightly warning him that things were warded up all over the place and it wasn't even worth looking. Nice swing up a couple of minions here. Bot still maintaining that lead. Top lane, same deal. Not too much to fight over. Maybe a scuttle crab, but Xylism on the wrong side of the map for that. And we see Zero picked up the Bramble and now pivoting into the Sunfire. Or rather into the Bombi Cinder. Okay, we could have some action here bot lane. We're meanwhile top Zero. Almost solo kill, unstoppable force. Mellow with the flash! Despite Xylism being here, still takes down the Malphite. Unfortunately, I don't think he has a... Oh, he actually got a plate as well. I think he was just on the edge of the range for that. So we watched that play. We didn't see bot where a Laver burned his flash. Foldmather traded it. And now maybe they're looking for a dive. Nobody is here. Looking for the root. Featherstorm. Oh, man. Nothing a Laver can do. The cleanse, though. Oh, no. He's getting out of trouble. Icewing has the barrier. Needs the Q. It's got to be coming up. And he does get it. Silent Elements teleport in. And now Ulfold. They're looking for Jester. They find it. Foldmather. They got to protect him. A lot of damage from Silent Elements to Ari. Foldmather will go in. And there is the shield. Crucially from Soupbank, Elements back into the turret. Ulfold juggling the aggro, trying to take down the Ari. Foldmather needs a bandage tossed here to hit. Got to be careful. Elements will play around in the brush, play around out of vision. No, just trying to execute. Oh, the charm connects. Soupbank actually flashed to try to block it. Wasn't necessary, but I love the camaraderie. And they do take down Silent Elements. That was not pretty in the least. But at the end of the day, it's a couple of kills bot for WA. That's what the scoreboard is going to show. And we're all about that here. Okay. So things begin to reset here. Spear of Shojin picked up by Mellow. He got that kill. He's feeling pretty good now. Swifty boots for Zero Thorn have arrived. And the CS lead for Mellow has continued to grow. He's up about 20 now. Same thing bot lane. WA really gaining advantages across the board. Up 2,000 gold. Much better start here than Game 1. Now have their eyes maybe on a Cloud Drake. Try to equalize. Charm there onto Ulfold. A lot of damage. Foldmather looking. There's the root. Spirit Rush is going to be burned by Elements. Foldmather looking for the bandage toss. Doesn't connect. But trade of ultimates. You're always happy if you're the Karma that's trading the ultimate, because that'll be back up in 4 seconds. So that cooldown will be down now if WA starts the Drake, and it kind of looks like they have yes. Okay, so looking to contest here. Xylism, he wants a smite steal, but man, just kept away. So WA running interference there. Supank and Foldmaster threatening a bandage toss. And Xylas not even able to get in and look for a steal. So a Drake now for the Warriors of Æsir. Silent Elements, look at the damage here. I mean, we didn't see how that happened, but really getting poked out heavily. And speaking of ultimates being back up all the time, how about a Malignance on the Karma? Now Xylism, who I talked about, has not been active in the ganks. Just the ward coverage really helping with that. Ice Wing walking right in. Xylism going to come in. Featherstorm is here. Cyclone teleport coming in here. It's going to be Mellow on the way. Ice Wing kites back. And now looking for more. No, it's Ulfald. Mellow as well teleporting, though. They got to find something. So many resources invested. A Lover, flashless, cleanseless. He's dead. Ulfald finds the kill. Mellow under the turret he goes. Infernal Chains trying to pull. Jester, you're not the Zac, though, Mellow. He can't take the turret for too long. That sends it up to the Braum. Foldmaster dies to the turret. Ice Wing trying to take him down. The turret doing so much work, though. 2 members of WA go down. 2 members of SGA are dead. And that will be it for all the teleports being invested. You don't love it for the Warriors of Æsir, but it could have been worse. Now the resets come through. Rift Herald, an option for either team. WA still with about 1,500 gold advantage. They got those 6 scrubs. They'd love to grab a Rift Herald and start knocking down some structures. And the pings on the Rift Herald actually from SGA. At least pings to be aware of that. Icewing now with a massive CS lead. As much as some of these fights have been a little messy, he's always been there surviving, throwing those feathers out. Now 2-1, up 38 CS. Talked about he built a little bit of an advantage with that. He kept while a Lava had to recall early on, and he never really let go of that advantage, and now it's grown further after the skirmishes. And he's looking for that Infinity Edge. He's mighty close to it right now. Yuntal Wild Arrows coming in for a Lava, same as his Jinx game. And again, WA looking for that Rift Herald. Xylism is here bot. Ulfald, he's been really bullying Silent Elements here, and I worry that maybe he's going to play a bit too aggressive with the Wukong here. He sees it now. A lot of damage there onto the Karma. Ulfald does have the flash if he needs it, and he is going to use it. Shield. Oh, double flash follow, though. Silent Elements and Xylism will get that shutdown onto the Wukong. So double flash burn should be a free Rift Herald now for WA, and it will, but it's going to be traded for that turret. So not first turret as well for WA. They do give that one up, but they've already got the triumphant boots thanks to that neutral objective control and those 3 kills. So overall, nothing too bad. Element's going to do some damage to this turret, and I wonder if he threatens taking it. I'd be very surprised. Soup is well aware of that, and he is actually by himself. He could very well have just died there, but I think Xylism figured there's no way this Braum is just walking up to my face and punching me by himself. Well, you figured wrong. Okay, Xylism, Foldmaster could be caught out here. Charm, Chain CC, Calibrum. The ultimate, not enough to save WA's Amumu, and he will fall there, caught mid lane on the rotation, and equalizing the kills. 7-7 in the gold. Now actually for Team SGA an advantage, and mid lane outer turret will go down too with the power play. Oh no, Destinance here onto Icewing, has the Featherstorm. Flash by Soup to try to protect his AD carry. Ulfald trying to take down the Aphelios, and he will in the back line. Meanwhile, Braum dies. Icewing survives. Now can they follow? This could be Ulfald falling again. Xylism is low. The root there. Cooldown's low, but death sentence onto the Karma is true. And Xylem has his 5th kill of the game. A little something there to at least kill the Aphelios, and now with a tempo, mid lane outer can go down for WA so they can get some of that gold back. Still overall, messy fight after messy fight for WA after a very promising first few minutes. things have just been all over the place. You don't hate it. Maybe, yes, this neutral objective control that has been so true for the Warriors of Æsir this game can help them out of a very, very turbulent game 2. Xylism looking, but he shouldn't be here in time. No. Melo's got the smite in the Aatrox there, and surprised if they just start the Atacon here. I think they just want the flowers and maybe some control. Ulfald has the teleport ready, but Icewing is not even nearby, and you got to be careful. Icewing burned his flash and his ultimate there, so he'll have the ultimate back up soon enough. No turret here, though. Gotta be a bit careful. You know, if you at least had that outer turret to play around, it would give you a better leg up towards pivoting into Atacon there, and without that, recall's coming through. I wonder if this is spot. Wards are not here, so I don't think they know this, but I do wonder if Atacon isn't just started here. Yeah, SGA is not that bold. They as well are going to settle for just getting the vision cleared out, and they certainly do that. No eyes whatsoever for WA. Soupbank recalling, pick up some wards and see if they can't try to tussle over some of this vision. Now Atacon once again going to be the point around which this next fight rotates, and it is started actually. And Atacon is so interesting because, yes, I was going to say the AoE damage and the shred that he has, it's well, the shred not unlike Baron, but the AoE damage is massive. I mean, he does a lot. So you can see SGA very well aware of that. I mean, they would not mind. Oh no! Charm here onto Melo. Soupbank now, death sentence, needs to get out of trouble. WA doesn't really want to fight this. They're so low now. Melo goes in, unstoppable force onto the Aatrox, and he will fall. Okay, stun here onto just the Ahri, but Cyclone on the backside. Ulfald's already dead. Finally a kill for Icewing, but now he is in a load of trouble. Featherstorm Burn trying to find maybe a good Blade Caller. No! Disaster for WA. They are ace. They find only a Malphite, and they give up the Atacon. Just when game 2 was starting to look so promising early on, it got messy. They waded into uncertain waters, and this fight was the first one. You can decisively say SGA smashed them. And now the resets come through, but it's a 4,000 gold lead for Team SGA. You saw it was a difficult position there. The charm onto Melo, Soupbank trying to protect. They're able to get out, but the health bar is so low. They felt like they had to press that fight. They couldn't find anything. Cooldown's missing. You wonder if the play there was maybe just to pull off of Atacon, or just not invest so heavily in it. Point that the fight extended in towards that bot lane outer turret. Stunned Gaming Academy. Okay, Spirit Rush in here. Ulfald. Elements breaks the root line, the tether. And nothing to come of that. Okay, death sentence though onto Soup, who was here all by himself on a mission investigating. And he falls. Killed 9 for Xylism, who was on an absolute tear on the Wukong. Well, Icewing somehow is in the middle of the jungle here. Golden Meth are trying to come in here, so Icewing does have the flash and has the Featherstorm. So actually flashes over the wall. Yeah, okay, that was interesting. Okay, Jester, though, looking now, and there's no turret here. This is so bad. Okay, Icewing, he's going to have to go under there. Nicely done. Dodges the unstoppable force. Death Sentence comes in. Shield there from Ulfald. Fullmouther will fall. Almost kills Elements. Icewing flashes away. Barrier keeps him alive, and Ulfald flashes. Mission, save Mr. President, works. Meanwhile, Melo gets a turret mid lane and the bot lane outer fall. So at the end of the day, It's not a complete disaster for WA, but boy, do they just escape by the skin of their teeth there. And just about every flash burned to make it happen. But they at least get some gold across the map. They're actually leading in turrets now, believe it or not. And with 2 Drakes, you have to think this next Drake spawning could be a crucial point. Baron is available, so a trade is possible, but after recent events, I think Stun Gaming are feeling pretty confident and willing. You gotta be careful, Soup and Mellow. This is how things went wrong last time. Cannot get caught in these objective fights, and the Drake's already been started, and I wonder if WA just wants to give this up. Looks like the call is to contest. And SGA backing away, and now Full Method in the front lines here. Charm goes wide, 4,000 on the Drake. Could be a 50-50. Xylism waiting, 2,000. It goes to SGA. Death just comes in to the 2. Holding the Malphite ultimate. Mellow flashes, but finds no one. And WA just forced to back off. Another flash burn. They don't get the Drake. SGA play it cool and back off. Haven't equalized the score in the Drake department. And now opting for the reset. Once again, Supak finds himself being impaled by a Thresh around the blue buff. But this time he lives. Infinity Edge now for both AD carries. And Icewing maintains that CS lead, but you don't feel that gap in the bot lane is as real now. Mortal Reminder, or rather just Executioner's Calling, excuse me, for Ilaver, has been picked up. Very effective into that Aatrox. Knowing, of course, that yes, Thornmail for 0 Thorn, but that's going to require Mellow to be autoing the Malphite, which WA fans, we kind of hope he is not doing during these fights. Two items now for Ulfald's Karma. Once again, Magi Soulstealer, now with 14 stacks here for Silent Elements. And the Tango, the contest for Baron Vision continues, and it does go to SGA, at least in the Scuttle Crab category. And actually a teleport in here from Ulfald. Just in case potential Baron. Silent Elements did teleport as well. So just trying to match that. Both teams will back away for now. And crucially, there is a couple of wards here that were not cleared out by SGA, including one directly on Baron. Yeah, now they're spotting some of those. There's still one in the Baron pit, which is not being stopped by that control ward, so that's a real nice one. I don't know if that was Supank maybe that placed that ward, but I doubt SGA aware that that control ward is not quite getting them their money's worth. 3,000 the gold lead, 2-2 the Drake score. WA already down 1-0 in the series, needing a victory here to stay alive. It looked like they were on track for it the first 10 minutes. Then things got a little gruesome, and recently they have not shown the ability to win any of these team fights. And a lot of it has been fights not starting on their terms. You know, early on it was Fold Mather all across the map, Ulfald roaming, making things happen, but now it's often been WA members getting caught, Charms coming in, Unstoppable Force, maybe a death sentence. Jester's been on point with them. Starting these fights that WA doesn't really you know, they don't really want the fight, and they certainly don't want it when it starts like that. And they kind of feel obligated to keep it going. Okay, here we go. Elements smartly Spirit Rushes out of the advantage toss. And soon enough here, there'll be an Ocean Drake available as well as a Baron. Again, the opportunity for maybe a trade of objectives here. We see the pings for Ulfwald's teleport. They want to make sure that he and Mello can join in if they do have to take one of those objectives or fight over one. Knight's Vow completed. Cosmic Drive, too. A ridiculous amount of CDR in Ulfwald's Karma. Now Mello could be caught. He's going to walk right into a death sentence, and there it is. Xylism is here. The Ignite. So much Grievous Wounds. Nothing the Aatrox can do, and he is dead. Now, Foldmather starts off the Drake, but I don't know. I mean, SGA... Excuse me, Foldmather starts the Baron. SGA starts the Drake, but... Teleport coming in, and they're just going to be content with just letting Xylism solo that. Desnet's here in the soup. They forced WA off the Drake. And you can see Icewing, you know, wisely did not want to be stuck in that pit. And if things go south, which they were likely to do, and actually Foldmather goes in just onto the Thresh. Almost solo kills the Thresh, and he does! But now, no ultimate. They have to find a way. They have to take down the Aphelios. Here comes Xylism. Cyclone not up just yet, but Soupbank is already dead. Unstoppable Force onto Icewing. A lot of damage here. Oh, no, but the Flash! Zero Thorn not rooted there by the Blade Killer. That could have been massive double or triple for Icewing. But a huge fight for WA, and now Mello is respawned and teleported back in. Meanwhile, Xylism says, I have my Cyclone. I have my Flash. Their AD carry has no ultimate. We can do this. I'm going to go in. Let the resistances get shredded. A Lava has no ultimate or Flash, but has the cleanse. Charm goes wide. There's the Scuttle Crab, and still WA hesitant to go for this. A Lava is so low. Ulfwald poking. Flash. Mello. There goes the Aphelios. Charm on to the Aatrox. And that could force WA back. Foldmather reticent now to press the advantage, but it was a couple of nice kills for the Warriors of Æsir. They lose the Drake, they don't get the Baron, but they stay alive, and you can see the damage there onto the Aphelios. A Lava is having a hard time playing this game. It's not because he's getting chain CC'd, he's just getting hit with the damage. Between Mello and Ulfwald, not to mention the threat of the feathers and just Foldmather. I mean, he just went in 1 versus 5 there into the Baron pit and kills Jester. I don't think SGA was expecting that whatsoever. Certainly, their support was not. I wasn't. The bold moves from the Amumu and the rest of Team WA. They stay alive here, down only 1.5K, but now questions linger. Ocean Soul point here for Stun Gaming Academy. WA has got to contest that next Drake and preferably take it. You wonder, of course, if we don't see something unusual like WA giving up that soul if only to grab a Baron. Or perhaps taking that single Ocean Drake just to delay the soul. And SGA, in turn, grabbing the Baron. Mello taking a ton of damage here. Soupbank winning the wings, but once again, okay, Descendants here onto the Braum. Now, here comes Foldmather, flashed away by Jester. Soup is coming. Elements has the teleport in there if he needs it. Root here onto Zero. Ultimate's ready. Xylism waiting. They don't know he's here. Unstoppable Force. Chain CC onto Icewing. He's able to survive in Featherstorm, though, but the flash from Xylism kills the AD carry. Now this could be trouble for WA. Elements comes in, Charm, but Mello is still alive. Shut down here. Ulfwald taking a ton of damage from the Aphelios. Elements in the middle of 2. Mello still going as the Aatrox. And finally, it is Soupbank with the Winter's Bite able to finish off the Ahri. Death Sentence goes wide, and the Warriors of Æsir again win a fight and finally have a gold advantage after perhaps 15-20 minutes. They are in the lead again. They finally clawed their way back, and now they threaten a Baron. Who's here to contest? Only a Laver and Jester. Ultimate available for the Aphelios. Cleanse available. No flash. And indeed, the call will be from Stun Gaming to let this Baron go to the Warriors of Æsir. That will extend that gold lead. The smite comes in, and WA are wearing purple and looking to see if they can blow this game wide open and bring us to a game 3. Now tussling potentially over a Drake that's not spawning for a while. Just wanting control, and certainly WA kind of curious. I mean, you have the Baron buff here. You want to get something done. Hey, it does give you some combat stats. It's not the worst. No, we've seen this before from Team WA, where the macro calls, they say, we want this Ocean Drake. It's not soul, but it puts them at soul point. That teleport coming in, but this is in the middle of everyone at SGA. Doesn't matter, though. Ulfald is there to protect Mello. And Team SGA grab themselves some turrets mid, cut the gold lead to 1,000, and get out of dodge. So they back off with that, but I think SGA fans will be happy with that trade. As for Team WA, the call is the call. But without getting a soul and knowing they have the Baron and they just gave up pushing structures, can't be too thrilled. We'll see what's next here. Maybe they can finally get some mileage out of this Baron buff. They don't have it for too much longer. We'll check. Yeah, I mean, they get a few waves here. Since here, Foldmather flash, but not able to find the bandage toss. Burns that cooldown, which could be crucial, but still, the power of Baron undeniable. And WA picks up an inhibitor. They're in mid lane. Things here around bot. I mean, this is going to be close. This Baron is going to be running out. They've got a couple waves. I'd say certainly 2 waves here. But SGA knows that if they can just delay, buy a little bit of time, especially catch WA overextending, continue to push once the Baron runs out. Destin's there on the full map. It's not what you want. Jester continuing to fish, and Ulfwald continuing to poke. You see the damage there. Huge. Rabadon's on the way for elements. He hits that. It's going to be big. Besieging right now are WA. Mello is top lane. No teleport. So they really have to be careful here. If a fight starts, and we know Zero Thorn can start it easily, so can Xylism. And WA just hesitant to push there, knowing their top laner cannot teleport in and their Baron buff is running out, and now it has. And they're just going to keep pushing, and actually SGA kind of caught off guard here. They recall there because the Baron had run out, but hey, you still got the grubs, right? And you still got 4 men strong. Mello still with no teleporting, and Xylism's waiting, looking for a flank, looking for a big cyclone. Not going to find it. And now WA looking to reset. Mello, 4 items now on the Aatrox. Rabadon's has been completed by Elements, so he will do a crazy amount of damage, especially to Icewing and Ulfald. Ulfald has the needlessly large rod. Again, I think the question is, does he pick up the Rabadons here? I'd have to assume he does. But highly doubt he has enough gold to pick that up right now. One little reminder, completed 3.5 items now for a Laver. Same deal for Icewing, who wants a Bloodthirster for himself. Which, the way these fights have gone, I think could be pretty effective. Yeah, you don't love it into the Grievous Wounds, but there's so many shields and so much protection for him. He has time here. He has the Featherstorm. You know, we're seeing even in really nice setup there when Xylism and Zero Thorn catch him off guard, out of vision with the ultimates. He still has enough shields. Supank keeps him alive. Ulfold keeps him alive. He's got the barrier, the flash. He stays alive long enough that he is able to hit in these fights. So the Bloodthirster, you know, the help of that shield and the lifesteal can just prolong things and make sure that I think key here probably that he can kill Xylism in these fights. He's not going to kill Zero Thorn unless Zero Thorn's the last one alive and we're just AFK autoing the Malphite while he disconnects from the game. What we'd like to see here is some of those feathers. Either you catch somebody, you get elements, you get a liver, or at least when Xylism dives in, or maybe Jester dives in, you take down some of those guys that are not quite as tanky as the Malphite. Because look at that, Frozen Heart coming in now for Zero Thorn. He is going to be invincible and a lot of physical damage on the side of WA. Yes, Ulfold, there's the Rabadons. Okay, so that's great. A lot of AP damage, but he's going to have a hard time chewing through an entire health bar in a fight. It's going to be on WA to poke here, fish for some of that damage, which they've been doing a pretty good job of lately, and then be able to start the fight with the low health bars, especially if a Laver can't even venture into that fight. You're basically 5v4. That's how these fights are really looking like WA can win them. Baron spawning in a few. Soul coming up. And the old Fnatic Brush waiting. Mello is here, has the teleport. And once again, Stun Gaming just looking for mid lane prio, really wanting that. Elements is pushing top, but has the teleport. WA really needs to start something here. They can't just let Elements take top lane, inner, and perhaps an inhibitor turret. They've got to start the Drake right now, and they do. So Soul now threatened. Elements has to TP in. It's down at 7,000, 6,000, 5,000. Xylism's got to get in there. He's not. Soul to WA. They traded for a top lane inner turret. Do Stunned Gaming. Down 1,000 gold. Still, this game so close. 42 minutes. Anyone's game, but the Ocean Soul, those stats stay with you. And Elements stayed top lane. Continuing. Ulfold trying to clear out that wave. No turret to remain to help the Warriors of Æsir here. In the mid lane. The top lane inhibitor turret does stand tall with Icewing defending it. And he should have that Bloodthirster and then some now. So that's big. You see the Leandries there for Foldmaster going into the full tank standard. Now has the Jack Show, has the Sunfire, so he's going to be able to take a lot of punishment, and he will need to. And I wonder what a Laver does opt for. I mean, I still think Runins feels so good in Aphelios, but I wonder if in a game like this, he doesn't try to just go for like a rapid fire cannon or something, just because it feels so hard for him to do anything. I mean, outside of if he has Calibrum, you know, throw a couple of Qs in from practically out of vision. Of course, an ultimate, but, you know, you'd love for your AD carry, your Aphelios, to do something. Okay, here we go, Xylism, Cyclone. There's the Lantern, and now Descent in onto Mello. Unstoppable Force onto a few. A lot of damage onto the Aatrox, and he will die. It's a Thresh with the kill. Foldmaster, bandage toss in. I don't think he wants that one. Supank still trying to protect. Descendants under the Braum. Shield expires, and he dies. And WA going in 1v1, but it's a huge ultimate by Foldmaster. And flashing in is Icewing, trying to kill somebody, now flashing back out. Ulfold looking for the damage. It could be big. Elements. There is the Spirit Rush out, and he will bait Ulfold in. Shutdown for Xylism. And for WA, a disaster of a team fight. A redemption at least. Icewing, no summoners. Charm onto the Xayah, and he will fall. And the question is, where does Stun Gaming look next? They've lost only their support. I think they want to end down mid. The death timers are so long, 44 minutes. Recall here from Zero Thorn. He's going to teleport back in. The inhibitor will fall. Foldmaster will try to stop them. He might just barely be able to throw an ultimate in. It's going to be practically when the Nexus is falling. I don't know if he can do it. 1 second on Supank. Mello is up, though. No, they can't. There's no way they can end here. They're going to have to win this team fight. They're going to have to play it well, our Stun Gaming. One Nexus turret. Here comes Mello. Another Cyclone. Unstoppable Force. Mello responds, but he can't do anything. Disaster for WA. They're trying. The turrets are helping. Elements under the turrets he goes. Supank is low. Foldmaster is low. They both fall. Ulfold is up in 4, but the Nexus turrets are going to fall. And how about that? Stunned Gaming leave WA stunned after things were looking so promising, so possible for WA to bring us to a game 3. At the end of the day, they cannot make it happen. And WA sadly do fall to Stun Gaming Academy here. 2-0 is the score. And we'll check out some post-game stats here briefly. 33,000 damage there from elements on the Ahri. We see Xylism on the Wukong, massive. Meanwhile, Ulfal on the Karma. How about that, dishing out the damage, leading the team with 30.7 thousand damage. And WA actually down a lot in kills here, 15 to 26. I don't think I fully noticed that. I know they had a lot of messy fights back and forth, and things looked so good. They pick up the Baron, they get the Soul. Yes, they made some trades, but ultimately losing that mid lane inhibitor turret, and the inhibitor meant that, or just the inhibitor turret rather, meant that there was that avenue for one lost team fight 44 minutes in, right into the win. And actually WA respawning with time with 3 members able to contest the fight, but once again, just too much crowd control. Zero Thorn with the ultimate, Xylism with the Cyclone. Too much. And WA does fall, so of course, we need to root on our team. Thank you to our viewers. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the night here. We'll have this VOD up on YouTube as well. And we'll hope for better results in our future games. That being said, have a good night.